Hello there, everyone. You know who I am, Supreme Misfit Professional Dipshit ETTemplar, and we are reacting to a clip from Boogie. And of course, you know what that means. It is ET video. So let's just get right into it. So the top of this reads, 90% of these comments are just people mad that a fat man can keep a beautiful woman happy for a full year. No, most of us have character, a conscience, and we didn't have to entrap or use some kind of weird daddy issue bullshit to get a girlfriend that's 2 times our junior. See, some of us, again, have conscience and character, which you are deeply lacking, especially conscience part. You clearly, that's your moral compass is so fucked up half the time. I'm surprised you can find your way back to the parking lot. But let's see what this video is about.
By certain influencers, top G's. There's some misinformation being spread around right now by certain influencers. But I'm here to tell you the truth and the hacks to help you break free from the matrix so you can be a brokey like me. Now,
He's doing the Andrew Tate thing. And this guy complains when commentators use his girlfriend in the thumbnails for clickbait. He went after some of his co-hosts at LolCal Live because they were using her in his thumbnails. And now in this clip, he has her barely wearing anything, which it's amazing how these guys can get away with community guidelines. Or maybe it's not breaking community guidelines, but you get where I'm going with that, because Boogie is, high up in YouTube. And so again, which is it, Boogie? You can't complain about people using your girlfriend as thumbnails or to clickbait, but here you're using her to clickbait your content. I don't know if this is a video on YouTube also, but he's using her, and it's like the same thing Kanye has his wife with her ass and like tits hanging out. It seems like there's no respect for their significant other or their wife, right? In this situation, there's like zero respect. But that's anyways.
Now listen, you may know there's certain myths that are being pushed on you to keep you in the rat race and enslaved to certain disciplines. But I'm here to dispel those myths for you. Number one, everyone thinks you have to have a perfect body, fit to stave off any attack. That's lies. This body wasn't by accident. If you don't have anything to steal and you don't look like a threat, then no one's going to attack you anyway. You see this body?
So he says he's a brokey, but he has all these vintage like arcades behind him. What kind of broke person do you know has vintage arcades behind him? So if you haven't figured out by now, what Boogie does is he'll do dumb shit like this. The internet, by and large, will react negatively. Then he'll play the victim. Then he'll threaten suicide. Then he'll apologize. And then he'll grovel. And it's literally anything for views for this guy. And he'll even use his wife or girlfriend as like content. We'll get into that a little bit later.
This is what peak performance looks like. And it wasn't an accident. Do you have any idea how much discipline it took to create this body? Do you have any idea how many carbs you have to ingest to maintain this kind of mass? But it guarantees that when people look at me, they don't see a threat. Myth number two. A man must build an empire to have any true worth. Haram! That is haram. True happiness comes from the simple things in life. An aquarium and a goldfish, 2 small dogs in a video game. That's real happiness. You don't know the pressures that comes with money. You got to determine what you're going to invest in, what you're going to buy. What would you buy? Ethereum? No. True freedom comes from being a wage slave. You don't want all of that pressure of trying to decide what color your Bugatti's going to be, do you? Now, myth number 3, is that if you are fit and you are rich, then you're going to have different beautiful women lining up for you every single night. Well, that's gay. True happiness comes from one woman a couple of times a month. Little Andrew's out there needing consistent validation. Oh, love me, won't you love me tonight? Andrew, that's gay. True happiness is found by staying with the same woman, whenever she doesn't have a headache. And you know what gives her a headache? Competition anxiety. If I were rich and I were thin, she'd be afraid to stand next to me because other women would be looking.
Which isn't the case. This gag, you've already spent like an exorbitant amount of money on high-class escorts and prostitutes. So,
And I promise you, no other women are looking. Be a man! Make sure your woman feels secure by knowing you're not going anywhere. Now, Fatty is a community for like-minded individuals that are broken free from the matrix. True happiness comes from a goldfish, from the same woman a couple of nights a month, and the occasional meme coin. Fatty for life.
So, if you're wondering what the fuck that even was, he got paid $10,000 to push a meme coin, a piece of shit, junk coin that he's gonna like pump and dump. No, he's not, because he already got paid. But it's gonna be one of those coins where this guy exploits his own fans and other people. Let me support Boogie. And the people who own the coin pump it and then dump it. They sell off at the top. So they get the money and the price crashes. So hopefully this gets Boogie in trouble with that, like SEC or the trading people. But then again, more than likely not. This Jabba the Hutt here, this guy's just such a piece of shit. And now that I think about it, some people get envious of this, but that'd be like being envious of Jabba the Hutt from Star Wars, a slaver, abuser, just piece of shit. And yeah, it's funny now. And you know how he mentioned about his body and how he didn't get it overnight? This is a guy who complains or tries to play the victim. Supposedly he has blood cancer and supposedly he has all kinds of health problems. He's always complaining about, oh, I'm dying. So this is a guy who his entire career, he's been playing off the sympathies of other people. He's this sick, mentally defective, like, narcissist. And he's made his entire career off of playing the victim, suicide baiting. I mean, if some of us were to do that, we could only be so lucky. But for him, for whatever reason, he's got a throng of like-minded people who are just along for the ride because they watched him at the earliest history of YouTube, I guess. But yeah, just a hypocrite all around. And again, watch. I'm gonna make a prediction here. He's gonna complain when the negative press comes out, when people start talking shit, and he'll threaten to kill himself again at some point, because that's his like standard modus operandi. He'll grovel. He's also a fence sitter when it comes to politics or like very serious issues. He'll hem and haw depending on like how much money he can grift out of it. So sometimes he's right, sometimes he's edgy right, sometimes he's left, sometimes he's edgy left, sometimes he's bisexual. So this is a guy who's just the king of the grifts and a giant piece of shit in my opinion. And good luck, dude. Yeah, you rip off your fans with a, crap coin. Very cool, Boogie. So, in closing, this is a man who's quite literally monetized his own misery. or perceived misery. He's exploited his fan base for decades for grift money. Keemstar is now paying off the debt on this house so he can live in it, while he complains about not having any fucking money as he makes money off AdSense revenue, Patreon, and other ways, even if it means he takes 10 grand to push a shitty meme coin. That's probably more than likely a pump and dump scheme. Now, a lot of people might be envious of this, but remember, like the good book says, the love of money is the root of all evil, and Boogie is no different. His god is money, finance. It's been evident, he spent so many tens, maybe 50,000 on escorts and prostitutes. So this is a guy whose sole purpose is money. And just remember that. Don't feel sorry for this guy next time the realm of public opinion starts crapping on him. And then he gets all like frantic and like grovelly and threatens to kill himself, because he's been doing that for as long as I can remember watching this fucking guy. I'm gonna kill myself. We're gonna make threads. He'll deactivate his Twitter. This is a guy who's been tugging. I guess it's like a Stockholm syndrome with his community and fan base. Is I guess he has this weird way of manipulating people through like misery and I'm depressed, my mentals. It's sad. And if we go back to that tweet, right, where he's saying, just people mad at the fat man that can keep a beautiful woman happy for a full year. Like, no, we're just envious that a fat fuck like you can hoodwink so many people for so many decades. It's really amazing, but at the end of the day, none of us would want to be you. And then, in the case, and I'll just leave it there. But yeah, no one's really envying you. Technically, they're more than likely amazed and shocked that your love of money comes above your own community, that you would put your own community and fans at risk of a pump and dump shit meme cryptocurrency scam. But you get it, dude.